Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Michael Hamer coming back at you, the Rainbow Warrior. Today, I want to talk about what's going on in the world, how to fix the world, how we going to repair the world. But first, we got to repair ourselves. 2020, it started off. You had the presidential impeachment. You had the Kobe Bryant, his sudden death. It touched the world. Now you got this virus. The days are speeding up. Time is going by fast. It's all about change. Today a guy asked me about, he said, Mike, I told him this happened before. This ain't nothing new. This story that we're going through, everything that we're going through and been through, has already been written. So we're going through a galactic, spiritual, or natural, conscious awareness. Back to our true conscious state of mind. So all these things that's going on is always turmoil. Is always disease. Is always plagues when change comes. So he asked me, I told him this happened before, and he told me about the Passover. And the Passover is the beginning of a new world, the end of an old world, beginning of a new world. It's about change. It's about order. It's about alignment. So in order for us to line up, we got to understand our true roles that nature and the universe gave a man and a woman. So to build a strong nation of people, it starts with the woman, not the man. Because she the first teacher the child, and the message you get the child gonna get to the world. So I want to touch bases on our women. I want to go way black in the day. Because a lot of people, they think I'm bashing women, but I'm just pointing things out, what they're doing wrong. Because people don't know that they're doing wrong until you tell them. And they can see for themselves, because you can't see your own faults sometimes. If you can see them, you won't admit to them. But this something needs to be heard and need to be put out on the table, because in order to change, you got to know yourself. You got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. So I want to start in the beginning, way back in the day. And I want to start with the black woman, because the oldest bones on the planet is a black woman. So where were the men at? If you ever heard of asexual reproduction, that's where you don't want to have sex, anything like that. And back then, the women, they were reproducing, they were impregnated themselves because they had the XX chromosome. But they also had the mitochondrial gene. And the woman could pass it, but the man can't. He can receive it, but he can't pass it. So the mitochondrial gene, that's the globe-trotting gene that every woman passed from mother to daughter. So if you trace the mitochondrial gene back, it go all the way back to Africa, the black woman, the original woman. And the mitochondrial gene, they got a message in it, it's the mutative gene. It's also got a message of the truth in it. It's got a whole lot of different messages in it, but that's one of them, the mutate. So nature got a way of correcting itself, got a way of healing itself. It got a way of making change and adapting. So the mitochondrial gene come along and made the woman start producing the XY chromosome. And that's when the male started being reproduced. Because it's changed from the woman. And a lot of animals, lizards, fish, they could change from male to female to male. So this might sound far-fetched, but do your own homework or do your own research. Because everything is built off the feminine energy. Your chakra system is built off the feminine energy. Mother Nature is built off the feminine energy. The universe is built off the feminine energy. Even when a child is a fetus is in the womb, at a certain stage it turns from female to male. At first it's all female. But then when the Y chromosomes kick in, the father's chromosome, he turns into the man, into the male. So that's why I want to touch on the power of the black woman. Your true powers. Not the angry black woman, but the civilized black woman. The way we were before we came over here. Because the Africans, they respected the woman and they knew her powers. That's why most of the things was built off the matriarchic system back then in the day. Right now it's built too much off the patriotic. We too in the and too far in the left brain thinking. The masculine side, the masculine energy. That's because it's dominated, there's no balance. But I want to talk about the importance of the woman's role and the black woman at that. Because she gave birth to everybody on this planet. So you could throw that story out about woman came from man's rib. Everybody had a navel cord, so the navel cord come from the mother. So you got to read between the fairy tales and everything that's given to us, that present these stories that presented to us. The truth is in there, but you got to do your own research. You got to study yourself. See, the reason I'm talking about the black women, because they're the key. They're the key to turning everything around. Because as I said in the beginning, she's the first teacher of the child, and all our lessons start in the mother's womb. So the message the mother get a child, the child gonna give it to the world. That's why we got to understand the power of the black woman's role. All the women on the planet, but I'm talking about the black woman first, the melanated woman. Because man means man and woman means womb of the man. So your mother, she's the molder and the shaper of the man. She's the giver of the law, but daddy, the father had to be there to enforce the law. But what laws are we giving our children? Is it man's law or nature's law? Nature's laws come from the universe. So that's why they say the mother's tongue either build a house up or break it down. So through slavery, they annihilated our women's tongues. That's why we got to get our black women to understand their true natural role and the message they're giving to the children. Is it positive or is it negative? Is it common sense or is it nonsense? Because you're the mother of all civilization. Even way back in the day, the queens, they choose the kings. When it comes to sex, the woman, she do the choosing. Choosing a man, she looking for the alpha male. That's why she do the choosing. You can have all the money, you can have all the looks, all the muscles, if she don't want you, she don't want you. See, the women have more control than they think they have and what they know they have. Even with the men, we underestimate them. The laws of Moat is built off the feminine. That's why if she write those laws into your child's head and they mess it to their head, they naturally conform to it. It was already in their DNA. It was already in their heart. That's why it's important to get us to understand our roles, because to build a strong nation, like I said in the beginning, it starts with the mother, not the father. Because once you write that, put that seed of that message in the child's head, it's going to be there. See, we might be our father's seed, his physical seed, but we all our mother's skin. So we are our mother's flesh. It's like planting the seeds in the ground. The mother, her womb is like the earth, it's like the universe. So long as the black woman is angry, and this is how important it is for us to understand our roles. As long as people are angry, especially our black women, the planet gonna stay angry. The people on the planet gonna be angry. Everything is gonna be out of order. Because if you mess with any role, the mother's role or the father's role, the balance is gonna be off balance. So the energy through our emotions that we put into the universal, universal energy flow. It's not adding up. It's not conforming to each other. It's not meshing together because it's too much negative energy. So we got to understand, we got to get on that positive flow. That's why the black women are the key. Once you put that positive message in the children, and they start in the womb, they'll come out loving everybody. They'll come out loving their father, loving their mother. They'll know who their mother and father is. I'm gonna just show you just how powerful this is. Anytime a man get a woman pregnant, how does the man take on sickness? He gets sleepy or gets sick, start throwing up, because that's a chemical and that's a spiritual union. That child already know who his mother and father is. He's already controlling. He controls the mother inside the womb. He tells her what to eat, and she tell the father where to go and get it, and she bring it back. So it work hand in hand. And one thing about it, the father's around, that child can hear the father's voice too, the brothers and sisters and everything. So you already learning in the womb. You might not be conscious of it, but you subconscious mind is absorbing all that energy. That's why we got to be careful what we plant, the seeds we plant in our children's subconscious mind. Because once they program, that's the message they receive, that's the message they're going to act out, they're going to live through. Because your past exists in your brain. Your eyes tell the brain what to see. But what have your eyes been programmed and your brain been programmed to see? See, because like I say, the woman, the Wonder Woman, y'all the key. Now I know a lot of y'all don't like, I'm just pointing it out, why you're angry and how to fix it. You don't know you're angry. You don't know where the anger came from. It surely didn't come from nature. It didn't come from the black man. It came through slavery. So anywhere around the world, if the man control the woman, they control the nation. Those boys over Arabs, Islam, the boys blow themselves up. They was taught that from a child. They go through the mother. The mother planted seeds in them. By the time they grow up and stuff, all them daddy got to do is go blow yourself up, and they already programmed to do it. So you teach the mother what you want to teach the children. And see, that's slavery. Nature got her laws. Nature's laws against man's laws. And whose law is more powerful? So if we do it the natural way and nurture, nature nurture, that's the mother. And if she do it the natural way that was given to us through evolution, through nature, and through the universe, she'll plant the seeds of love in her children. And plant the seeds of common sense. No nonsense. And when we get to that point, then you'll see a strong nation. Your strength is not your anger. That's not being a strong black woman. Being a strong black woman is being peaceful, humble, wisdom. That's why in the Bible they say when hell opened up her mouth, heaven opened up her gates. That's why they say heaven and hell is between the black woman's legs. Womb man, womb mother mind. Man means minds and woman means womb mother mind. So she the molder and the shaper. Even when the child is born. This lady, she came in one day and she was complaining about how mad her husband was. He come home angry from work. And I asked her, what did you say to him? She said, I cussed him out. I said, nah, don't do that. You adding fuel to the fire. I said, your job is to put the fire out. I said, next time he come on home like that, you kiss him and rub his head and tell him it's going to be all right. She came back a month later and she said, Mr. Mike, I did it. I said, what did he do? She said, you acted like my mama. This is response to her. And he said, he went and sat down. And she asked me, how did you know that was going to work? I said, when you had your children, as soon as the doctor, midwife, get a child to the mother, and the mother start kissing and rubbing on them, they'll calm down. They'll stop crying. They'll and go into that nice, humble state of mind, what they was born in, what they was created in. So we all can't remember when we were born. If we would, it was too much trauma, we'd be traumatized. Everybody be crazy. So you don't remember that part. But your mother, when she started rubbing your head, she soothed the soul. She put you in that frame of mind. You're supposed to be that humble state of mind. And that's the power of the mother. If a mother have a child and give him up for adoption, that child will feel that separation, even though he might not remember being separated, but he'll feel that detachment. Even when the mother and the father are arguing and cussing each other out, that's messing up the child's chemical balance. That's messing up his whole vision, how you gonna see the world, and how you gonna react in the world. Negative in, you're gonna put negative in, negative gonna come out. You put positive in, positive gonna come out. That's why I'm trying to get our melanated sisters to understand their true natural role, because they're the game changer. We are. But one thing about it, they got to come through us. They got to come through the men. We're going to talk about the men later, but right now, the strength of the black woman, the true powers. And this is what they don't want you to know. They don't want you to get to this. That's why they're doing slavery. They was getting their children, the midwives, the women that were pregnant, the black women, to breastfeed their children, because they know how powerful the mother's milk. The black women got the most powerful human milk on this planet. And that's a fact. Because of the melanated milk, the melanated skin, the melanin that's in us. That's why it's important for us to go back to the natural law, nature's laws. Because once the black woman become back to her true state of mind, everything gonna fall in line. Because she's gonna put the vibration of love out there in the atmosphere, in her children, in the whole nation. That's why the Africans regarded the black woman as God. We always talk about the man, but what about the woman? They say the God in me, what about the woman in me? Because both of them go hand in hand. One don't work without the other. It's all about energy. So like they say, everything happened for a reason. And everything, the oppressors, his plate is too full. He got too much negative energy on it. But all of this hell, they said, go to hell. We've been to hell. But we're rising up out of it. From that lower vibration to heaven, our higher vibration. So we need our women to have our backs. Stop worshiping all of these imaginary friends that you've never seen before. Because one thing about it, these kids out here running wild and stuff, they could be changed. All they need is the right message. But you can't talk at them. A lot of people talk at them. But you got to talk to the spirit. You got to talk to the heart. Because the spirit and the heart know itself when it hears itself. It know it's true. And it know what it desire. A lot of black women, they think I might be picking on them. I'm a little hard on you. Because tough love, that's the best kind of love. Because I know you're tired of these police killing your sons. Your son's going to jail. Your daughter's out there running wild. I know you're tired of this. Talking about you don't need a man. If you didn't need a man, we'll still be in the XX chromosome. It wouldn't be no men. It'd be all women. And that just don't work with nature, because you need the positive and the negative. See, the woman, her role, she got to spend too much time with the children, so she can't go out there and hunt the food, gather the food, take care of the children, teach them, and do all that, so she needed help. So how we don't know, the man was put here to be the woman's helpmate, instead of the other way around. While she nurturing and taking care of the kids and teaching, she needed protection, she needed somebody to provide food for her. So nature's powerful. Nature's laws and everything about nature is more powerful than man's laws. And that's what we're up against now. Nature's laws against man's. Man's laws are failing. Because one thing about this virus is it's affecting everybody. Everybody's true instincts kicking in for survival. But see, the truth always reveals itself when change comes. And change is here. Can you feel it? Can you see it? Can you smell it? Can you hear it? Can you touch it? All those five senses feed your first sense. They call it sixth sense, but I call it the first sense. Your intuition, your emotions, clairvoyance, everything that comes from the spiritual system is fed by your eyes, your ears, your taste, your tongue, your touch, your smell. They feed the brain. So this is all about brain development, putting a child on the righteous path and putting the family back together. The cohesiveness that we're supposed to have. Because when change comes, when the Passovers come, when the New World Order comes, the mighty always fall. And the ones on the bottom always rise up. But we're not going to rise up to the rich man's status. We're going to rise up to that happy medium, that happy frequency, that energy. As above, so below. It's about energy. So right now, we're the only creatures on this planet that don't obey our laws that nature gave us. We're trying to vote for man. And you see man's laws, they're about man. They're about him. So when they talk about the devil's a liar, that's man. If you lie to the women, you lie to the nation. That's why women, ask the women, what do you hate, a liar, a cheater? The majority gonna say, I hate a lie. Because it depends on the man to tell the truth so you can tell the children the truth. So if you lie to her, you blast her. She depends on you to lead her in the right direction with the truth. So what I'm trying to say, they distorted and changed and messed up our roles. That's why we don't know better. If we knew better, our children would do better. I'm talking about as a whole. Not just certain individuals doing the right thing and most of us doing the wrong thing. I'm talking about as a whole. So change and the truth, it reveals itself. And all this we got to line up with is, that's why we got to go and search ourselves. And how the energy works and how you connect it to everything and to that electromagnetic energy. And how to tap into it and that even flow, that true aura, that positive aura. So this is about change. This is 400 years, 2020 that started off, and this is all adding up to it. It's gonna get worse before it get better. Just like the disease, that virus. Most black folks, they ain't scared. We done survived 400 years of slavery. We done survived everything, but we're still here. So be careful of your fear emotions and your love emotions. And love emotions, the black women, y'all the ones who created it. That's why they talk about the wisdom that comes from the woman, but who she get the wisdom from? She get it from the man. So you're a super woman. You're the universal goddess, the earthly goddess, if that's what you want to call it. That's why they want to be like you. Everybody want to mimic you. Have big lips, curly hair. So nature's calling us to line up, to adjust. Because one thing about nature, don't adapt to us, we got to adapt to it. So everybody is in turmoil. All these higher powers, supposedly these rich people, the elite, is affecting everybody. They being affected by this virus, by change, and they're not even aware of it. So in order to take our planet back, we got to come back to the natural state of mind, our true conscious. We got to realign back with nature, the laws that gave us, the methodology that gave us. In order to raise humble children, you got to have humble parents. That's why our Trinity, the Father, the Mother, the children, the aunt, you will tell you that. Why is the womb, the woman on top? They say, who came first, the chicken or the egg? We're in the age of information. You can dig all of this stuff up yourself. You can do your own research. So next time you see me, and I will be coming back soon, I'm going to talk about the men and their role and what they must do. Because you ask people, what's the role of the woman? You ask a man, what's the role of the woman? They have to think about it. What's the role of the man? They have to think about that too, because if you haven't been taught those roles, you can't answer. What's the true role? I should put it that way. How do you treat a woman? How do you treat a man? We know how to break each other down, but we know how to build each other up. So we got to go back to the original methodology, the original way, the original truth. Because we got to feed the whole planet. That's the true powers of the black woman right there. Y'all really rule the world, you just don't know it. Because we caught up in that, too much of the left brain thinking, too much of the patriotic. That's why it's no balance. That's why we got a lot of men walking around thinking they're women and women thinking they're men. No balance, the brain's off balance. Feminine side dominating the men, the masculine side that dominates some women. You need that balance to be whole. And one thing about it, when a child is born, and like I said, the woman starts rubbing on him to calm him down and put him in that humble state of mind. If nobody's there to rub that child and hold him and kiss on him, the child will cry itself to death. That's why it's important for the mother to give that child that love, that motherly love, that feminine love. And see, one thing about it, your child can be sick. And the mother should be doing everything she can to calm him down or nurture him back to health. But when daddy come in and grab his children, you can see the strength come from that man through them children. That power, that energy, you can feel it. So once we get back in sync, back to the true natural state of mind, everybody feel that energy when you walk in the room. That's the arm of God. When your brain and your heart is in sync and in that positive state of mind, then you can feel that energy and people will tell you, I can feel you. See, we got powers that we tapping back into that we already had. We just weren't conscious of it. I seen women, sons get hurt on the football field or something. They're in a coma. And once that child come out of the coma, they always remember, I heard my mother. That's how deep it is, the mother. Her voice is embedded in us from the womb. It's over and over. It's being recorded in that child's head. You can take your child to a crowded area, a little 4-year-old. You could be on the other side of the room, be full of people, and the mother could just call his name out. She ain't have to shout it or nothing, and that child will hear the mother's name. Hear her voice, I'm sorry. He'll respond to it because that's just how connected it is. That's how important the mother's voice is, how powerful it is. So the seed, like I say, we are father's seed, but we are mother's skin. That's the biological part. But the spiritual seed, whether man is there or not, if the woman still plant that positive message to the child gonna be all right. In the animal kingdom, you usually got, who's the main teacher? It's the mother. Sometimes the male will leave a seed off like tigers, bears, and the mother, she do all the teaching, all the nurturing. That's why I say the mother is the giver of the law. She's the one that writes the message in your head. But what message are you writing into your children's head? So like I said, next time I see you, I'm going to be talking about the men. Because it's time for us to unite. All this chaos on this planet, they're at their weakest point. But we are at our most highest point. And we're waking up every day around the world. So it's time to take it to them. But first you got to come in there with your true state of mind, your true conscience, because that's our weapon. We don't need guns, we don't need no money, we don't need no book, because you are the book. Anything you're looking for, you already possess. And one thing about this spirit, your soul, it knows itself when it hears itself. That's when people say, don't talk to yourself. Yeah, who is self? Yeah, they don't want you to figure things out because you talk to yourself every day. Every time you get up in the morning and you contemplate and you put together what you're going to do, you talking to yourself. But who is self? You talking to your ancestor wisdom. You talking to the God in you, or either the devil in you, whatever message you received as a child. That's why people can't hide the contents of their character. I hear we talk about each other, calling each other out of our names, sorry, Negroes, lazy, but who make them lazy? Who make them sorry? The man or the woman. Both parents could do it. But when the mother's baby do everything for him and treat him like he's a king, like he's put him in front of the father and treat him like he's a king instead of a child. See, she wanted to do the best for him because she know what the world got to offer, the white man's world. So inadvertently, she's trying to do her best to make him comfortable, but all the time she hindering him. we got to check ourselves, check our roles, check everything that's going around, because it's all connected. And it's a bad energy right now on this planet. But when change comes, there's always chaos, always disease, famines. It's always dysfunction. But see, this stuff been written already, like I say, but this is the last time it's going to happen. Because you go through your Bible, every story, you done lived every story in that Bible, and it's repeating itself. So if you find your story in the Bible, find yourself, you understand that book is a book of astrology, a book about behavior. It's a book of laws, instructions. It's a health book. It's a book that puts you on the righteous path back, because you weren't taught the right way in the first place. That's why I say basic instructions before leaving Earth. That means you weren't instructed in the right way in the first place. So if we conform to the message that was given to us, our laws that was given to us through nature and the universe, that's when you're going to see harmony. That's when you're going to, like I said before, that's like you're going to see the jailhouses come down. You're going to see a lot of people putting their weapons down. The weapons, they're going to start tilling their own soil because everybody will be free. So nature's calling us to wake up. Our ancestors calling us to wake up and take our place back. So to take our place back and start with the woman. That's why I say, why they never say, when they talk about God, they never say the woman. Why when they talk about God, they never say nature. See, somebody came up with the word God. God represents the truth, devil represents the lie. You're going to teach your child about common sense or nonsense, by the truth, about a lie. It's up to us. Only slaves can heal slaves. That's why a lot of people don't understand that Willie Lynch, how they went through the woman, put the woman in front of the man, annihilated her tongue. It's self-explanatory what they did. They say she don't want to submit to our law. And they had the Bible in one hand and whipped in the other hand when they did it. They made us religious. It took our spirituality away. When I first got to Florida, they was talking about the root lady. I said, man, what's the root lady? They said, oh, she'll put a hex on you and do all of this stuff. I said, no, man, they got y'all food. She's a medicine lady. She's in tune with the earth. They knew how to make their own antibiotics, their pain medicine, everything. Healing medicine. They went to the forest. They went to nature. So they put a black cloud over that. Talking about she's a root lady. She was, there's nothing evil. She was healing. She wasn't trying to kill you, put a hex on you. That's what they told us. They turned voodoo into something evil, and voodoo is about nature. Like I say, they destroyed our spiritual system and gave us religion. But their spirituality, our true nature is waking up inside of us, a sleeping giant. So next time we're going to talk about I got a message for the black men. Because we are the protectors, the providers. We got to understand our role, and a lot of us don't. Who's teaching the men how to be fathers, how to be husbands? Who's teaching the women how to be mothers, how to be wives? You got to be taught. Child got to be taught all that. You don't know all of that till you teach them. So when we start teaching better, our children start doing better. It's up to us. We got the power to change everything. And once we change ourselves, everybody else gonna fall in line. Oh, they copy off us. They do everything we do. So if we could become righteous, they're gonna become righteous. Everybody on this planet. So like I say, change is here. Can you feel it? Can you see it? Can you smell it? Can you touch it? Rainbow Warrior, check it out. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Lance.
Let me just say, you just said about your birthday, right? You just saying about your birthday, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't say it. No, I forgot all about that once I started rolling.
See, he's so modest, he didn't say nothing about it. The fact that this young man here, this young, let me stay, put you right in the middle. So, 65 years old today. Look how strong he is. Look how vibrant he is. Look how he resonates with strength and power and the right kind of pride, not that other kind of pride. We got to keep our words where they belong.
Where you feel it on the inside is going to show on the outside.
That's right. That's right. So 65 years old, you're bushwhacking a trail that I will happily follow with the knowledge and the wisdom that you have. And I want everybody in the comment section to wish Brother Michael Hamer a happy born day.
Yeah.
Today, right. 65 years old. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Black don't crack.
And one thing about it, we all going to be born again.
There you go.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was all right. Yeah.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LanceScurv.com and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LanceScurv.